Hi, how are you, my younger brothers? I'm your elder brother, Kiran Roy. So, today I'm bringing you a brilliant topic which has been asked to me basically by one of you. So, today's topic is the law of attraction. This is like a very deep thing. When incorporated rightly, it can pay you rich dividends in whatever you attempt in your life. It can be your career, it can be your physical goals, it can be your artistic goals, it can be your monetary goals, it can be your relationships for that matter. This is going to pay you rich dividends. But before I proceed, if you find any value from my video, if you gain anything, then do consider giving a super thanks, because none of the, not even a single rupee is going to come to me. 100% of the proceedings will go to the orphan kids of the Chembur Children's Home, with whom I'm associated since the past 26 years, ever since I made my first income. I had explained to you in my earlier video how I had spent that entire amount on those orphan kids because I feel strongly for them. And you can also consider taking the Be Charismatic course in my Hindi channel, because that is one course in which I'm going full throttle. I'm not going to hold myself back from disclosing anything. There are many things which I would be not disclosing in my regular YouTube videos. But in the course, it's going to be no holds barred. I'm not going to cut myself short in any which ways. And I'm going to tackle the bull by its horn. So, and if you still like, you can definitely, if my videos are helping you, awesome. But still, if you need more help, if you need personalized guidance, then you can take a 1:1 with me. You can book a 1:1 with me by DMing me at my Instagram account. My Instagram account is untamed forever numeric 6. You can just send a DM. My manager will revert and see you through the rest of the proceedings. And if any of you wishes to learn guitars from my academy, then we offer all sorts of facilities. We have private home lessons, we have online lessons, we have offline lessons. Plus, the fourth option is direct lessons with Kiran Roy, direct lessons with me as well. So all the options we have. I have 77 teachers working under my academy. Since the past 26 years, I'm running my show. I'm running my academy. So like 100% guaranteed results we provide. So whoever wishes to avail any of these services, feel free to contact me through DM in Instagram. So, coming to my law of attraction subject, everything you have today, your money, your relationships, your job, whatever it is only because of what you have been thinking. You get what you think. You are what you think. Whatever I am today is only because of what I had been thinking. Today, I am fully immersed in guitars. I eat guitars, I breathe guitars, as in I run a chain of music academies, a chain of guitar academies, wherein round the clock, though currently I may be talking to you as of now, but as we speak, thousands of students are learning simultaneously throughout the globe, not just in India, throughout. Because I have divisions for online lessons. We have a huge team of teachers who are only catering to online students abroad, internationally. Then comes private home lessons. I have 77 teachers only dedicated for this purpose of going to other people's homes to teach guitars. Then I have offline lessons, as in offline classes in my chain of music academies, wherein students are coming to our classroom and learning. Then we have private home lessons, which I said. Then I have direct lessons with Kiran Roy. I only do 2 sessions per day, one in the morning, one in the evenings. So these are especially for the ultra advanced level players. I personally train the like extreme, because I have students coming from all over India basically to learn from me, who have reached a very high level. And since I have 26 years experience, I can take them through the next plateau. I can burst them through the next level. So that's precisely why people come. So what I mean to say is, though I'm an electrical engineer, my father is a very big industrialist from the electrical field. So since I'm an electrical engineer, the ideal thing for me would have been to look after his business. That would have been what any any herd follower, any regular herd follower would have done, right? They would have said, why should I grind? I just have to do my engineering and look and take over the business which is already up and running. Why should I struggle? Why should I start everything from scratch? But no, my thinking was, my father has made that business. Everything is his. It runs by his name. It is his respect. The business is running due to his respect. Even if I do that, what is my caliber? As in, what did I do for it? Apart from just taking it further from where he has left it. But I did not start it from scratch. It was my father who had started it from scratch. And the accolades which he received was like next level. Because nobody in my entire 7 generations has done what he has done. But that was the same thing which even I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to start something right from scratch. So in spite of coming from an electrical engineering background, including having father's own electrical engineering business, I decided to get into the music field. And today I am the king of my field. I'm the baron of my field. You can check it out yourself in Google. You can just type Kiran Roy Aspire, Aspire. In that, you will see that I am ranked #1 in my field by India Today magazine in the top 10 list of the beaten track entrepreneurs from India. You can type Kiran Roy Rockstar, not because I'm calling myself a rockstar, but the Your Story page will open, in which Your Story has given me the title of Rockstar Entrepreneur. So all these accolades, all these titles, why did I receive? It is because of my thinking. Whatever I am today is because of my thinking. The biggest proof is, if I hadn't used my thinking like the rest of the herd followers, then what would have been my natural course of action? I would have been looking after my father's business. I would have been a multimillionaire, no two ways about it, but I would have been in my father's business. I would have been a pot-bellied man, the typical 44-year-old that you see, a typical 44-year-old businessman that you see, pot-bellied, no physique, no body, nothing, like I wouldn't have been looking even 1% of the way I'm looking right now. The way I'm looking right now is because I'm a self-made man. I have that glow on my skin because I have done it all. I have lived life in my own terms. I have lived life as per my own thinking, basically. So the bottom line is, whatever I'm today is because of my thinking, and whatever you are today is also because of your thinking. The opening statement which I gave for this point is, you are whatever you are right now, everything is due to your thinking. So first, just let's grasp this point. I'm trying to drive home a point, right? So my first point is, whatever you are today is only because of your thinking. Just absorb this much. So the law of attraction means, whatever you focus on, you attract. Your thoughts are like the magnet. You attract positive, you will get positive. If you are negative, you will attract negative. Getting the bottom line? If you are always positive, you will attract positive. If you are always negative, you will always attract negative. Have you ever seen any successful person who has become successful by being negative? Name one person. It can be anybody. Just give me one name. You can give me one name that he has only been a negative fool throughout his life, but still his business has flourished. He has reached the #1 spot or whatever. Like, I give my example. I'm the #1 in my field. Like that, there are like lakhs of fields in this world. So naturally, there are #1s in every field. So just give me one name who has reached that #1 spot in his field. I'm not talking about the entire globe, like all the fields. Only in his particular field. If he has reached the #1, can he ever be negative? No ways. So that's what I meant by saying, you attract the way you think. If you think positive, you will attract only positive things. For example, since I started off with my example, had I started off my career listening to the society, because the entire society told me, you are, as it is, you are a good for nothing, but the field which you are choosing is a field which nobody has ever done in India. Because when I started my field, I was the first person to start this concept of a chain of music training academies and a guitar showroom, both under the same roof. So my concept is, we teach guitars, we sell guitars, everything under the same roof. I also have a guitar factory wherein I manufacture guitars and supply it to my showrooms, along with other showrooms throughout Asia. Now guitars have started going to Europe as well. So this is how my model was. But when I started out, everybody was like, your business is not going to last even 1 year. My relatives, my teachers, my classmates for that matter, everybody, my friends, like so-called friends, they would say you're going to be as it is, you're a loser, because from a top class topper, you become a backbencher. So with that only, my classmates, the topper classmates, they were like, you are a loser who leaves the number one spot to become a backbencher, but you did it. So they would call me a backbencher as it is. They would call me a loser as it is for being a backbencher. So when I started my field after deciding not to get into my father's business, when I started my guitar hall, I was 17 years old when I started Guitar Hall Academy. All my details are in my wiki page or in Google. Just type Kiran Roy guitar, you will get all the details about my history. I have been covered like colossally through media, everything. So when I started out, everybody was baying for my blood. They would say, you are not going to last even 1 year. Forget the 2 year mark. Ultimately, you are going to get back into your father's business only. You are just doing this for, now you are young. Now you are like, now you're thinking in a haphazard manner. That's why you are getting into this field. But 1 or 2 years, by the time you're in your teens, you'll be doing this music. And the moment you touch your early 20s, you're going to get into your father's business. Everybody had predicted, including my own relatives, my own close relatives, like blood relatives. They had also said that your music is not going to last. But today, I'm 44, it's 26 years running. I'm working on that same field which I had started out. Why was that possible? Had I listened to the rest, had my thinking been negative, had I myself thought, because see, the one thing common was, though the entire world told me you cannot do it, there was only one person in this world. In fact, I would say even my own father told me that you won't be able to do it. My own father, from where I expected support, even he said this is not going to happen. But there was only one person who said it will happen, and I will ensure that it happens, and that was me. I used to tell, because all my friends, my teachers, they used to tease me, they used to mock me, saying that in 1 year your business is going to flop and you're going to play guitars in the railway platform, and people will be throwing you pittance, amps. They'll be begging in the railway platforms. They used to mock, and everybody used to laugh by these statements. I never used to feel bad. Of course, I used to feel bad, but I never used to show them that I'm getting offended. With a smirk on my face, I would say, time will say on which platform I'll be performing and how much I'll be earning. Time will say. And today, those same people, they keep their heads down whenever they see me. Some, because they were my classmates. It's natural they would stumble upon me somewhere or the other. But they don't have the courage to talk to me because I have reached such a level, sticking to my guns, and they are still there itself. They just chase the mark. They are just doing jobs. They are paying EMIs. They are getting drunk every weekend. Soon they will die. Whereas look at me, how I have transformed my life, both physically, emotionally, mentally, financially. In all aspects, I have reached one level which they can't even dream of. They can't even dream of thinking to reach there. So you can imagine where I have reached. So now they have no courage to even look eye to eye into my face, because at one time they very well remember they had put me down. So what brought me here? It was my thinking. It was nothing else but my thinking. So what I said in my point, you are what you attract. Whatever I am today is just because of what I was thinking. I was thinking that I will be successful in my field. I was thinking I will be rich in my field. I'll be the best in my field. It was my thinking. Had I thought, no, I might not succeed, I might fail, I might falter. Had that been my thinking, I would have never been, I wouldn't have even reached half of what I have achieved. But since when the entire world was against me, it was only me who would be saying that, no, dude, you are going to win. Failure is not an option. We have no other path apart from success. That was what I have been telling myself right from the day I had started till date. I continue saying that. In fact, that's the reason why I'm sitting here today and guiding you people. Why? I have been there, I have done that. I'm in that position to be able to guide lakhs of people, even crores of people. Why? Because I have done that with the power of my positive thinking. So, law of attraction is nothing but you attract what you think. Are you getting the point? If you think negative, negative things will happen to you. If you think positive, positive things will happen to you. If you think I'm going to make it, you will definitely make it. But everything should have a structure. There should be a vision. Suppose, for example, there are many people. Even when I started out, when I was 17 years old, I started my academy. I was working on one field, right, which was music, academy, and guitar selling. That was my field, which is still my field. I have not innovated or done anything extra. I'm sticking to the basics. I'm playing to my strength. That was my strength. Till date, I'm sticking to that strength only because my theory is you should always do what you're best at rather than trying at 10 different places in which you are not good at. That's my theory. So, till date, I'm sticking to that same thing which I started off with. But that time, when I started out, all of my friends, classmates, they would say, hey, even I want to be rich, even I want to be successful. Everybody used to say that. But none of them were having a game plan. None of them even had an idea. They were barely in college, whereas I was already working. I was also in college, I was also in my engineering, but I was simultaneously working towards which would ultimately be my present. Same thing I was working on. But they would all say the same thing that I want to be successful. I want to be rich. I want to have a luxury car. Everybody used to say the same thing. But nobody was working towards it. Nobody had a clue what they would be doing. Whereas I also used to say the same thing that I will be successful. But I was having that game plan in my hands. I was working towards my goal. I exactly knew what I would be doing. And it was only one thing, guitars, nothing else. I never, right from ever since I was 13 years old, I had pledged that it's only guitars I would be doing for the rest of my life. And I had openly declared it to my parents, to my relatives, everybody. Everybody laughed. But today, what I had declared is what I'm living. So why was that possible? You attract what you think. I had thought only one thing, that it's only going to be guitars I'll be doing for the rest of my life. And that became my reality as of today, as you can see. Why was that possible? My thoughts were my strength. I did not deviate from my thoughts even for a bit. I did not let my thoughts falter even for a second. I did not go weak even for a second. Even when things were not going my way. For the first 4 years, I did not get success. I started my business at 17, but I tasted immense success only when I turned 21. Because when I turned 21, it became a jackpot. Like I bought my first luxury car also during that time only, and I became a big name in my field when I was 21. So it took me 4 years. But even the first, second, third, and fourth year, when things were not going my way, the way I would have wanted it, still I had no issues because I was very happy teaching guitars, being with guitars, performing, doing gigs in the nights, going to the college in the my schedule was that I used to go to the college in the mornings. I was an engineering student at that time. I used to go to the college in the evenings. I would take one or two batches to teach guitars. I would attend my jamming sessions. I would jam with my band members. And every weekends, mostly all weekends, I used to have either a concert or a gig. Somewhere or the other, I would perform. So that's how I spent my teens, my late teens. So that was my life. So I was very happy, even though I was not earning much, but I was very happy because I'm getting to do what I always dreamt of doing. I just wanted to be with guitar. And that's exactly not a single day I thought, hey, I'm not earning well, I'm not going. But when I turned 21, my name spread far and wide because I soon realized that more than playing guitars, I'm even better in teaching. I was a psychology student, as you must be knowing. I had a way of conveying my teaching into others through my knowledge of psychology because I was a natural at psychology. Though I did not pursue psychology through education or anything, but I was a pure I was a pure genius in psychology, which others told me. So by that virtue, it was like 100 times easier for me to convey my teachings into the rest of people. So even a hard guitar piece which others can't even dream of playing, I could easily teach them how to go about it. See, it's not just playing. See, being a good guitarist is one thing, but being a good teacher along with being a good guitarist is another thing. So I fortunately became both. Like I was also an awesome guitar player plus an awesome guitar teacher as well because I could convey easily through my understanding of psychology. I very well knew in what way I should go in order to make that person realize or understand what I'm trying to make him explain. Getting it? So due to that, I reached a huge level. But my bottom line is only one thing. I always had my thoughts right in place. It never faltered even for a bit. So due to that, till this date, I'm still flourishing, doing what I had set out to do. So the law of attraction is simple. You get what you think. If you think negative, you will get negative. If you think positive, you will get positive. So all these mediocre herd followers that you see everywhere, they reek of mediocrity. Mediocre job, mediocre 9 to 5, mediocre body, pathetic body, I would say, pathetic lifestyle, junk food, drinks, alcohol, all the poisons in the world, pathetic relationships. Like they're leading an uninspiring life. Do you know why that is? Because they are getting what they think. They think that is what they want, and that is the end product, what you see. So, bottom line is you are what you think. In the law of attraction, you will only attract what you think, what you are from the core. So, to begin with, you will have to change your core, your heart, your thinking for good things to start happening in your life. You're getting my point. All the good things happened in my life only because I took an initiative to think first. I was 106 kilos just 3.5 years before. You wouldn't have even recognized me. I don't know how many of you saw my pictures. If I recollect while uploading it, I'll put the picture. My 106, just 3 years before picture, I will put it. Why I could reach this state today, when you look at my physique as compared to what I was, I've envisioned it. I thought it was there in my mind that it was there in my imagination that I see myself looking like that at one point. I did not know it would happen in 3 years. It could have taken me 5 years, 6 years, I don't know. But it happened in like 1.5 years only. I got the results, to be very frank. Because I have a history. I mean, I have a background in fitness, which you must be aware of. So due to that, I got the results very fast. I did not hire a single trainer, nobody, no nutritionist, nothing. Everything from my own knowledge. Because as I said, I am a keen observer. So even though I did not pursue fitness professionally or like with 100% dedication, because I was a party animal, I was a rock guitarist, I lived the life of excesses, so I never pursued it properly. But I was always a strong grasper, I was always a strong observer. So I collected lots of knowledge over the years, which I implemented it on myself, and I got the results in 1.5 years itself. So you if you start thinking from today, you can expect that end result within a few years. As simple as that. Law of attraction means you attract what you think. So you have to first change your thinking to attract and to make that change in your life. That's the bottom line. My next point is daily thoughts equals daily reality. So what you think on a day by day basis will soon be your reality. At one point, I'll just give you one example to drive home my point. And I'm I'm trying to give you the real actual example as humanly possible for me to give you because if I explain you all these things with real life examples, you will understand properly what I'm trying to say. So I'm coming to this point only. Daily thoughts becomes a reality. When I was around 16 years old, I think 17, when I was 17, that time I was rusticated from my college because that time, as I told you in my earlier videos, I was doing engineering. I was in my diploma that time because I did 3 years diploma, then I went to B. So when I was 17, I was still in diploma. So that time I was rusticated from my college once. Total, I was rusticated from my colleges 4 times, but this was my first time. So my because my thinking was the sooner I pass my engineering, the sooner my father will immediately my father will put me in his business, and that will be the end of my music career. Hence, I would create lots of trouble. I would find ways to get kicked out of the college basically. So first time I did a huge mischief. You can check out my early videos of my Hindi channel. There I told all the points in detail how I got kicked out. So I was kicked out of my college first time. So that time my father got very much angry with me. He got very angry and he took away because I was the only guy in the college who had a luxury car, all given by my father, of course. I used to have a pocket money of 500 rupees per day. That time 500, my classmates would get hardly $5 per day. I would get 500 per day. That was my pocket money. And that time 500 was a big amount. I'm talking about 1997, I think, 1997. So that time 500 per day was a huge amount which my father used to give me. Then I had my personal car. Mobile phone had just come in India that time. Incoming was 60 rupees. my father gave me a mobile phone. So I had all the luxuries in the world, all given by my father, because I had not started. Because 17, I had started very soon. I had started after this particular incident happened, which I'm trying to tell you. So when I was kicked out of my college due to one of my mischiefs, very extreme mischief I had done, my father got very angry with me, and he saw that this guy has no value of money. So to teach me the essence of life, he threw me out of the house. He said that now you are restricted, as it is you won't be going to the college, so no need to stay in my house. You can stay in my house only as long as you are doing your studies as per schedule, as per how your other friends, all the other guys your age are doing. What are others doing? They are going to college, they are learning, they are studying, whereas you are just playing guitars, you're getting into trouble the whole day. I had started smoking, drinking also. You're just smoking, you're drinking, you're just like the epitome of a waste guy, a trouble child, a problem child. So I'm going to have none of it now. Get out of my house. So he kicked me out of the house. So it was just the guitar and me, nothing else, not a single rupee, nothing. So the first 2 days I stayed in my Chembur camp, hardly like I can even show it. There is the Gurudwara, the temple of the Sikhs. So there I spent the first 2 nights with my guitar. And third day, my cousin, he stayed in Navi Mumbai in Vashi. He took me to his house. He was my Masi's son, my mother's sister's son. So he took me there. So that time, first 1 month, I did not do anything. I was just eating, and I mean, because they were looking after me, right? As in my aunt was looking, my aunt and my cousin used to give me the smokes and drinks which I wanted, and my aunt used to give me the food. So I was leading a good life. But then my brother, he told me that, see now, even my mom is getting angry now that you are not doing anything. You're just eating, drinking, smoking, and that is what is making her angry. So you do one thing. If you just sit and smoke and drink, nobody will like it. So in my building, there are many ladies. They had requested me that, see, your brother is a very good guitar player. Can he teach my son coming to my house? So that time, I started teaching guitars by going to others' homes for rupees 200 per month. So that time I used to go to others' house. So one fine afternoon, I reached one lady's house right in time for my lesson to teach. But that lady was apparently sleeping. So she opened the door and she shouted at me that you low-class musicians don't know when to knock at other people's homes. And she shouted at me. I was never humiliated so much in my life. So I just banged the door on her face. I went down the streets. I loitered around for some time. Then I sat in a bench. I sat in the bench and I cried for 4 hours non-stop. 4 hours non-stop I cried. I must have smoked 40 cigarettes back to back in my like sadness. And that day I pledged that today that lady called me a low-class musician. One day, you same people will die just to take guitar lessons from me. And not just that, a black limousine is going to come to pick me up to for my performance in a world-class arena in Hollywood. So that day, while I was crying, I saw that vision that one day one black limousine will come to pick me up for my concert in Hollywood. And one day, people will die for my lessons and they'll be coming from far and wide. And would you believe it? This same thought started ringing in my mind every day after that. I used to think the same thing that one day my lessons will, I'll be charging the maximum fees, and one day a black limousine will come. Soon, time went, but my thoughts did not change. In 2015, one of my songs, Nostalgia, that became a huge rage in the underground. And due to that, I got a call from Hollywood to perform there in Fonda Theatre. And would you believe it? The same black limousine, which you can see, I'm attaching it in my video as well. That same black limousine had come, which I had visualized in my thoughts over the years, every single day. That same limousine came to pick me up. And when I had envisioned that a black limousine is going to come, I had also seen myself in that picture, right? In my thoughts. And in that picture, I was wearing Harley Davidson boots, black tight jeans, black leather jacket, and a bandana, which was my trademark attire at that time. And same thing happened in reality. That same black limousine came to pick me up. I was wearing that same attire and I performed in Fonda Theatre, which is one of the biggest performing arenas of the world in Hollywood. That same thing I made a reality. And very soon, I mean, it is like a no-brainer. Everybody must be aware of that fact, of that other thing, that today I'm regarded as the number one guitar teacher, if not in the world, in India at least, and my fees are the highest in India. In spite of my fees being the highest, there is a huge waiting list of students wanting to learn from me, and I have the maximum number of students learning from me at my place, at my academy. Because that time itself, I had pledged I will never go to anybody's house. So now today, big industrialists, celebrities, they are ready to pay like unheard amounts of money if I go to their homes and teach. But I had pledged that day itself when I was trying that I will never ever go to anybody's house ever again. People will come to me, but I will never go. And till date, I have stuck to my sayings. I have stuck to whatever I had pledged that day and whatever I had visualized. So as you can see, whatever I had been saying every day, each and everything has turned into a reality, including that black limousine. In fact, I still have goosebumps when I say this, because that was something which I had visualized all right, but I never imagined that it will come true. But because see, there I'm not the only musician in India. In fact, forget India, in the world there are millions of musicians, even better than me. Even you must be aware of. Of course, I mean there are so many better musicians than me also. But why I am the first person from India to be invited to perform in Hollywood? Why I was given that limousine? They could have sent me some other source of course, it is their duty to send me the transportation. But why that same black limousine which I had envisioned during my struggling times when I was not even a name? I mean, nobody even knew who I am. Even I did not know who I am. But still, that same visualization happened and that turned into reality. That's because of the power of attraction. That's because of the law of attraction. I attracted in reality what I have been thinking of every single day. Because that thing was in my mind ever since I cried that day for 4 hours. That thing was going on in my mind. It was constantly going every day. For every single day that I was alive, I would see that flash that one day I'll be sitting in that limousine to go to perform in Hollywood. And that same thing happened with that same limousine, same Hollywood. During that time, I had no clue, because more so because there are millions, thousands, lakhs of musicians. In India only there would be lakhs. Still, why I only got the chance? You guys can imagine. Why only me? There are so many other players, even better players than me. But why I got it? Why nobody from Bollywood? Why nobody from anywhere else? Why an independent musician like me got a chance? That song was the medium. Nostalgia became huge. Because of that, I went. But why? Because everything had a purpose, right? I created nostalgia with all my feelings. That nostalgia became hit, especially in USA. That's why they called me. They sent me a limousine as an act of respect. Everything happened universally. Everything happened organically, if you've noticed. Everything happened like a well-oiled machine. If you watched Final Destination, everything happened step by step. The same thing happened here, just by the law of attraction. Because it was my thinking which attracted that. This is a clear case of law of attraction. So now you're getting the idea what I'm saying. What you think every day on a day by day basis, that turns into reality. So my bottom line is, if you can visualize it, that is the biggest power. Visualization is power, is equal to reality. If it's there, if you can visualize it in your mind, it can turn into a reality, provided you not just sit at home and daydream, provided whatever you are visualizing, you are working towards it. Because constantly, as I said, when I visualized that limousine coming, I was not just sitting at home and dreaming about it. Constantly, I was teaching guitars. If you ask me now, coming back to that story, that what happened after that when you were kicked out, then my song released, one very big song of Bollywood, because that time I used to play as a sessions guitarist as well. So that song released and that became the guitar anthem of India. And students from all over India started camping in front of my doors. My father called me home now. He said, because lots of his friends, his industrialist friends, they explained him, see, there are certain people, they are born only for their passion, and your son is one of them. He will not fit into the society mold. That son looks after their father's business, they will chase marks, they will look after your business. So let him do whatever he wants to do. He's born only for guitars. Now see, he just played one song in Bollywood. It became the guitar anthem of India. So you can imagine he's born only for guitars. Don't force him to do your business. So that's when my father called me home and he made a pact with me. He signed a deal with me that I will allow you to pursue music even now and even in the future, but provided you complete your engineering. That's all I'm asking you to do as a backup option. That suppose if your music career does not take off, you can easily look after my business. I was more than happy. I said no problem because engineering was like a backup. I can do it with even like 10% effort. I could do it, and that's what I did. I was a professional guitarist, yet I've completed my engineering in a jiffy. So that is the bottom line basically. That if you can visualize it, you can make it into a reality. Now, my next crucial point is emotion is the signal. The more emotions are there behind your thoughts. See, there are lots of thoughts, flying thoughts, fleeting thoughts. But if there are emotions behind that thought, in my case, as you can easily see, there was lots of emotions in my visualization. I wanted that limousine to come because I was humiliated. There was lots of deep emotions. I That vision came to me when I was actually crying. I was not literally, I was actually crying. So there was lots of emotions behind that visualization which I had. So you can imagine what I'm trying to say. Emotions will give you that power basically. Suppose if your visualization is coupled with emotions, which happened in my case, I was humiliated because I come from a very rich background, very rich family. I was not used to anybody like humiliating me as if I'm like a, because that lady did not know my background. She did not know I'm the son of a very big industrialist. She thought I'm just a local musician going to others' homes. I'm a poor musician. So today, that's why I have so much feelings for the downtrodden, for the underprivileged, because I had seen how, I know what it means. I know how it feels when people treat you bad. So that was the feeling behind it. That was the emotion behind it. I was humiliated because she told me, you are a low class musician. You low class musicians don't know when to knock at other people's homes. So my hatred for women, my hatred for aunties started from that time only. That time, that was that auntie who shouted at me. Till date, I I recollect with lots of hatred, and I would not like to disclose what I have done. But very soon, when I became successful, I took my revenge. I am a Scorpio, though I don't believe in stars and zodiac signs, but I am a person who needs to have his revenge. I cannot sit. I'm not a saint. I never made any claims of being a saint. I am a Spartan, all right, but I will take my revenge, and I did take my revenge. That too in a very bad way, with that same lady who had humiliated me at one point. I took my revenge because, as I said, I can never ever sit quiet until I have taken my revenge. And how I took my revenge, that I would not like to disclose in public. But if anybody wants to know, whenever if anybody of you is taking 1:1 with me, I will say. But it was very bad. It's not. I mean, if anybody does little bit good to me, I do good worth rupees 100. If somebody does good worth 1 rupee to me, I will give back worth rupees 100. Same way, if anybody does bad worth 1 rupee to me, I will give back worth rupees 100. So even in this case, I gave it back in such a fashion that till date she must be shivering just to hear my name, because I cannot take things lying down. I will give it back, and I gave it back in a very bad way. So I would not like to disclose that, but that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm trying to say. If there are emotions coupled with that visualization, that will give a proper figure to your visualization. That will make it a reality if emotions are also involved. That is what I mean to say. My next point is the universe responds to aligned action. Something to what I already said, that it's not just the visualization, it's not just the emotions behind it. It should always be aligned. It should always be coupled with aligned action. So since I had these visualizations that a black limousine is going to come to pick me up, I was also corroborating it through my work. I was performing, I was teaching, I was composing my guitar instrumentals. I was completely there in the aligned action thing. I was completely acting on it. I was studying music, I was studying the notations, like I was headlong into music. So due to that studies, I could create that solo of international level. since I could create that instrumental of international level, they called me. So everything was aligned. You're getting it? So it should always be coupled with aligned action, is what I mean to say. If you just sit at home and sit in front of God and just keep on praying, nothing is going to happen. I'm an atheist. I never prayed in my entire life. I just believe in action. I just act on it. Universe always showed me the results. Before my closing point, let me give you a warning that laziness will not take you anywhere if you are applying the law of attraction. It will only work if you work very hard along with your visualization, in line with your visualization, rather. There is a visualization, right? But if you are working constantly in line with that thoughts, only then this will happen. If you are lazy, if you are not taking any action, you won't get anything. So my closing point is law of attraction works. It worked for me. It will work for you also. Provided you have a very strong mind, provided you work towards what you have visualized, provided you have emotions. If you are just a mechanical person, these law of attraction works along with emotions. What I can say from personal experience. Had emotions not been involved, then I'm sure that black limousine at least wouldn't have come true. But there was lots of emotions and tears involved. That's why I got it. So I think I've tried to explain you. I think I've done a good job in explaining you this rather. If you found any value, you can do whatever I had asked you to do at the start of my video, and you can feel free to ask me questions. Jai Hind.